my story of getting to New York to shoot for Extrapolations is a story in itself because I traveled there without a visa.
You should be saying this on camera.
I would a lot of times stalk people also. I would pick a random person who I thought was interesting at a chai wala and then walk behind them without them knowing.
That is creepy.
Then one day I said, Nasir bhai, why don't you direct again? तो मैंने बोला और उन्होंने हाँ बोला और फिर हमने क्रांतिवीर और हेरा फेरी का एक अमेलगमेशन पे स्पूफ बनाया.
Amazing, ना?
जो एक दिन में लिखा हमने और 20,000 लगे उसको करने में, तो मैंने प्रोड्यूस भी की उसको.
Adarsh Gaurav, hi.
Hi Sucharita.
How are you?
I'm good.
I met you in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first time we met.
That was the first time we
properly.
met. Yeah.
I think we must have crossed paths occasionally here. I remember coming to your screening जो आपने वरुण ग्रोवर की शॉर्ट फिल्म की थी किस, मैं उसकी स्क्रीनिंग में आई थी.
आराम नगर. अच्छा.
मैं आई थी वहाँ पे. बड़ी अच्छी फिल्म है, बड़ी प्यारी फिल्म है.
Thank you.
तो हम टोरंटो में मिले अभी सुपर बॉयज ऑफ मालेगांव के प्रीमियर के बाद और हमने अभी जस्ट एंडेड अप टॉकिंग फॉर लाइक आवर्स एंड आवर्स एंड आवर्स. कितने घंटे बात किया.
That was actually really cool. And it's nice because you don't plan these kind of things. You just meet somebody and then you click and then you just open up and you talk about everything.
इंटरनेशनल फिल्म फेस्टिवल, दिस वाज द फर्स्ट वन जहाँ पे आप अपनी फिल्म के साथ गए हो और इतना बड़ा प्रीमियर हुआ टोरंटो में. दिस इज सुपर बॉयज ऑफ मालेगांव. डिड दैट चेंज योर पर्सपेक्टिव एट ऑल? बिकॉज मैं जब जाती हूँ इंटरनेशनल फेस्टिवल्स में मेरा सर फट गया था पहली बार जाके कैन में कि क्या है ये.
हाँ.
क्या इम्पैक्ट था आपके ऊपर?
बहुत ओवरवेलमिंग था. मतलब ऐसे 2000 लोगों के साथ बैठ के एक थिएटर में देखना. और फिर बहुत इमोशनल भी हो गए थे सब लोग. एंड टू हैव नासिर आल्सो विद अस हु वाज हु द फिल्म इज ऑन बेसिकली.
प्लीज थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड हु नासिर इज.
सो नासिर शेख इज द डायरेक्टर हु आई प्ले इन सुपर बॉयज ऑफ मालेगांव. ही इज the guy who made Superman of Malegaon, of course, and he's also made Sholay, he's made Shan. He's a filmmaker who makes parodies of popular Bollywood films. And in the last 10 years, he had stopped making films. And when I went to prepare for the film, we were just, Nasir and my idea, I didn't have a plan per se, कि कुछ ऐसा कर लेना है या वो कर लेना है. Me and Nasir would just hang, we would meet people, his friends, his family and stuff. And then one day I said, Nasir bhai, why don't you direct again? और उन्होंने बोला कि हाँ बिल्कुल. और इतने रेडीली एग्री हो गए कि मैंने सोचा नहीं था कि वो एग्री
वेट कर रहे थे कि कोई आके
उनको पूछेगा लिटरली. क्योंकि वो अभी अपने रेस्टोरेंट चलाते हैं किदवाई रोड पे मालेगांव में. हाँ मालेगांव में. आई थिंक प्रिंस रेस्टोरेंट है उसका नाम. और तो मैंने बोला और उन्होंने हाँ बोला और फिर हमने क्रांतिवीर और हेरा फेरी का एक अमेलगमेशन पे स्पूफ बनाया.
Amazing, ना?
जो एक दिन में लिखा हमने और 20,000 लगे उसको करने में, तो मैंने प्रोड्यूस भी की उसको. और वो करते करते मैंने अपनी BTS भी बनाई, उसकी अपनी डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाई.
प्लीज दिखाओ मुझे, वो देखने हैं.
लैपटॉप पे है मेरे. मैं आपको एक उसका पहला जो है क्या बोलते हैं लाइनअप, वो दिखाऊंगा मैं.
प्लीज दिखाओ मेरे को. आई रियली वांट टू वॉच इट.
इट्स इनक्रेडिबल.
इंडियन फिल्म्स के अलावा इंटरनेशनल प्रोजेक्ट्स भी चल रहे हैं माशाल्लाह. मैंने वो एप्पल टीवी वाला भी देखा जाके. एक्सट्रैपलेशन वो भी देखा मैंने एपिसोड. मतलब वो इट इज व्हाट इट इज. बट यू आर वेरी गुड एट प्लेइंग ड्राइवर रोल्स, आई मस्ट से. यू हैव अ नैक फॉर प्लेइंग अ, बिकॉज़ इट्स लाइक अ, I don't know what you do, how you do it, but you do these driver.
It's only twice that I've done it.
Yeah, and they're both amazing. They're both amazing.
Please don't say that to people, क्योंकि ऐसे ही मुझे लगता है कि मुश्किल होती है मुझे अच्छे रोल्स मिलने में. और फिर अब तो और भी ज़्यादा. हाँ, फिर सब जितने ड्राइवर रोल्स हैं सब वापस आ जाएंगे मेरे पास.
चलो आदर्श के पास. पर नहीं, जोक्स असाइड, इंटरनेशनल फिल्म्स करने के लिए एक इंटरनेशनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन पहले होनी जरूरी है ना. वो प्रोसेस बताओ कैसा होता है फॉर समबडी हु लिव्स हियर इन अंधेरी, हु लिव्स इन बॉम्बे. इंटरनेशनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन कैसे आते हैं? क्या आपको अपने आप को पिच करना पड़ता है जाके एजेंट्स को, मैनेजर्स को कि प्लीज मेरे साथ मुझे काम दिलाएं?
मैं एक्चुअली बहुत लकी था क्योंकि रमीन बहरानी जो वाइट टाइगर के डायरेक्टर थे, उनका जो एजेंट था जॉर्ज फ्रीमैन, ही यूज्ड टू वर्क एट WME एज रमीन्स एजेंट. सो ही सॉ द फिल्म and he saw the finished film only, but 3 or 4 months before the release he called me and he said that he wants to rep me. So I didn't really do anything to get an international rep on board, although obviously like every actor in India I also had a dream कि internationally work करना है, but I didn't know how to go about it. The only 2 people who would cast for international projects was Tess and Seher Latif. Seher who's passed.
Who's Tess Joseph.
Tess Joseph and Seher Latif, and I was chasing both of them for a very long time to get me an audition. एंड 3-4 साल के ईमेल्स भेजने के बाद, ये सब करने के बाद, फाइनली आई गॉट अ कॉल फ्रॉम टेस's ऑफिस अबाउट वाइट टाइगर्स ऑडिशन. सो दैट्स द वे आई गॉट माय इंटरनेशनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन. एंड देन थ्रू माय WME एजेंट्स आई गॉट रिप्रेजेंटेशन इन द UK एज वेल, बिकॉज दे हैड देयर कॉन्टैक्ट्स इन लंडन. सो ARG which is run by Sue Latimer. She came on board, and then now I have 2 reps in both the countries.
अरे वाह, very nice.
yeah.
So अभी आपके rep हो गए now, but you still have to audition, right? They will bring you auditions for these parts.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like ये picture अब तुम्हारी हो गई आदर्श.
That's not how it works
ये
at all in the
series
West.
तुम्हारी हो गई अब बेटा ये लो जाओ.
नहीं.
वो क्या होता है प्रोसेस? कितने ऑडिशन दिए आपने इंटरनेशनल प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए अभी तक?
कम से कम 200-250 पिछले 3
Since White Tiger you for international projects.
yeah.
और
And
realize कितने हुए उनमें से?
एक
हसल.
the ratio of conversion is very less, but it's interesting because initially जब मुझे auditions के लिए भेजते थे, मुझे समझ नहीं आती थी कि अगर कैरेक्टर का नाम विल है और क्रिस है या एंडी है तो मैं क्यों ऑडिशन कर रहा हूँ. इट्स क्लियरली रिटन फॉर अ पर्सन ऑफ अ डिफरेंट एथनिसिटी.
Correct.
But over the course of time, my agent spoke to me, and I also realized, and I'm so glad that they sort of, like they convinced me into doing it. Because the point was not to get those characters, the point was to put myself out there. क्योंकि इंडिया में तो मैं चलिए फिर भी इतने टाइम से ऑडिशन कर रहा हूँ. I've had a few releases, so maybe the casting directors at least know me here. Outside, nobody knew me. They saw White Tiger and they were like, okay, this guy is there. But like, for me to get that kind of accessibility, I had to audition. So it didn't matter. The ethnicity of the characters didn't matter. And what mattered was that I made the most of that opportunity. Not that anything came of it till Alien happened for 3 years. But I'm really glad that they told me, you continue doing it. Just put your head down, keep working. I've been working on my American and my British accent also since the beginning. In fact, that was one of the best advices I got.
Tell, by whom?
And by Ramin Behrani, by the director of White Tiger. So towards the fag end of the film, I remember Ramin had this conversation with me where he was like, do you want to work more internationally? I said, of course, every actor wants to work
Neki, और पूछ प्रियंका चोपड़ा सामने खड़ी है.
बिल्कुल. So then he said that the first thing that you should do is that you should learn the standard American accent and the standard British RP accent. And I didn't have any money at that point in time to invest in a dialect coach. So I just went on YouTube, and literally the entire duration of the lockdown I was teaching myself how to play the guitar. I was working out, and I was learning my accents through free YouTube tutorials.
Hilarious.
तो चार्ट डाला है मैंने जितने YouTube चीज़ें हैं. So I would do that. I would basically plug on my earphones, repeat after whatever I was hearing phonetically. And then I would also, because I like to read, so I would read like things in the accent. So for 20 minutes I would read the text in an American accent out loud, and for 20 minutes I would read the text in a British accent out loud.
How do you do an accent? Like what is the skill set that is required to pick up a new accent?
There's certain ways in which your tongue bends when you speak in other accents, right? So for example, the rounding of the R's, it becomes R when you do an American accent. The British accent actually is a bit easier because it's closer to the Indian accent. So there are certain entry words that I have into doing both the accents when I do them and I have to audition. Because हर बार तो वो समय नहीं होता है कि मैं अब एक हफ्ते तक उसके लिए prepare करूँ. तो 10 मिनट का preparation होता है. उसमें there are certain entry words that I have. So for example, in the British accent, I've identified that word for me is perfect. So perfect. So when I say perfect,
that's so fun.
And that's so I start with that, and in the American, for example, it's world and word, because it's the most world for me is the most challenging word for me to say. Sorry, but it's that's how you.
So tell me other tips and tricks you use to get these accents right.
I think reading text out aloud is very important, and also music is a great source for me to also get into it, like to be able to sing, because if I would have to sing a song in my Indian accent, it would sound an English song or an American song in my Indian accent, it would sound very different.
Because the words, they won't even rhyme.
They won't rhyme.
We pronounce words differently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like music is a great way of getting into it, and that subconsciously I was doing anyway for the last 10 years, because I used to sing for a progressive metal band in college.
Yeah.
So I was anyway not singing it like an Indian person would. I was trying to Americanize it a bit, because I also grew up listening to a lot of Australian metal bands.
Acha.
Yeah. Carnival, Dead Letter Circus, Tool, Tesseract.
Yeah.
Tesseract I don't think is Australian, I think it's American. But so I was anyway doing it subconsciously. I didn't realize it. And then I went back to it when I was...
But do you fear that you will do some code switching when you're talking to an American person now, because you've spent so much time copying their accent?
I do it subconsciously.
Yeah.
And I think I've...
Are you terrified that you're standing on the TIFF red carpet and suddenly a different accent will come out?
I did that. And I was just like, I hope people in India don't watch this and call me pretentious.
It's like an American accent came out.
हाँ वो मैं ऐसा नहीं कि मेरे को करना है तो मैं कर रहा हूँ वो
See, मेरे साथ ही same होता है.
हो जाता है अपने
होता
आप
यही
you know?
होता है.
I feel like monkey see monkey do.
Correct.
So you see somebody else do it and maybe subconsciously you want to somewhere connect with them at some level
Yeah.
and you feel like the only way you can connect with them is to maybe and I'm just trying to analyze myself. This is not what goes into my head.
No, but this
in my
is what
mind.
it is because you don't want to appear threatening subconsciously.
Maybe.
At the back of your head, you want to be, I'm not a threat.
Maybe.
You know, in any room that you walk into, and then perhaps you want to be like, I sound like you. I don't look like you, but I sound like you. And then you're not working on it consciously. It just happens.
Yeah,
Code switching is a very
so
real thing.
when I was in London, I was very because when I was in Toronto, this happened in a few places.
जहाँ तुम तो लंदन भी होते रहे, वहाँ पे ब्रिटिश एक्सेंट निकला.
नहीं वहाँ नहीं किया मैंने क्योंकि I was very very consciously I was like नहीं मेरे को नहीं sway नहीं होना I have to be very mindful of क्योंकि आप एक तो आप इतने लोगों से बात कर रहे हो and a lot of times you're speaking only for 15 seconds or 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So you don't have time to plan.
On the red carpet.
Yeah, you're walking on the red carpet, you're bouncing from one person to the other. You're just going into autopilot and just doing your thing, you know. But in London, I was very mindful of it. So
इन सारे इंटरनेशनल सिनेरियोज में एक वर्क कल्चर का भी डिफरेंट होता है व्हेन यू आर शूटिंग इंटरनेशनली एज वेल फॉर एन इंटरनेशनल प्रोडक्शन इवन में एक्सट्रापोलेशन के लिए आपको ऑडिशन कहाँ पे हुआ था उसका
actually, Extrapolation was the only project. I mean, दो ही किए मैंने Aliens और Extrapolations after White Tiger, but Extrapolations I didn't have to audition because, as you said, वो ड्राइवर का रोल था तो उन्होंने White Tiger देखी हुई थी तो like इसमें कर लिया था तो ये भी कर ही लेगा. And Richie Mehta I got to work with, who I'm a huge fan of.
He's amazing.
And he's such an amazing guy.
Yeah, very talented.
And it was incredible. My story of getting to New York to shoot for Extrapolations is a story in itself because I traveled there without a visa.
You should be saying this on camera.
I know, but no, as in I traveled there without a visa, but there was a special grant that was given to me. I guess Apple got in touch with the American government or whoever they had to get in touch with, the embassy and all. And then they gave me like a special. So on my passport ना वो visa का थप्पा नहीं है, एक ink में लिखा हुआ है पेन से कि ये नहीं कि ये एंट्री डेट है बस ये लिखा हुआ है. So I remember going to Bombay airport when I was flying from Bombay to London to LA to New York. And LA to New York इसलिए because London to New York नजदीक है. But LA के border police के पास मेरा permission था. So I had to go from
यहाँ से लंदन फिर उधर और फिर उधर
पूरा
से
वेस्ट
वापस
कोस्ट
इधर.
और वेस्ट कोस्ट से वापस ईस्ट कोस्ट. बट द फनीएस्ट थिंग वाज आई वेंट टू बॉम्बे एयरपोर्ट और मैंने अपना टिकट दिखाया उन्होंने बोला पासपोर्ट. मैंने पासपोर्ट दिखा बोले वीजा का है. मैंने बोला वीजा तो नहीं है. तो बोले आप साइड हो जाइए. आप साइड हो जाइए. आपको क्या लग रहा है कि आप कहाँ जा रहे हो?
क्या कर रहे हो?
फिर अगले 2 घंटे तक मैं उनको कन्विंस करने की ट्राई कर रहा था कि सर मैं एक्टर हूँ और ये वो. फिर मैंने अपने आप को गूगल किया, मैंने बोला देखिए सर मैं झूठ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मेरा 1-2 काम ऐसे आया है और सच में मेरे. तो फिर मैंने अपने एजेंट्स को फ़ोन किया, मैंने उनको बोला मेरे एजेंट से बात करो. वो बोले मैं ऐसे कैसे बात कर लूँगा,
किसी से भी बात कर लूँगा
फ़ोन पे? आप पागल हो गए? मतलब दिस इज
द एयरलाइन स्टाफ आई अज्यूम.
हाँ एयरलाइन स्टाफ वो क्या बोलते हैं चेक इन काउंटर पे.
करेक्ट.
बोले हम ऐसे बात नहीं कर सकते सर किसी से, इट्स अगेंस्ट द रूल्स. सो एनीवे लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स हैपेंड एंड आफ्टर 2.5 hours or 3 hours they finally let me go.
And you didn't miss your flight.
I literally entered the flight like 5 minutes before it took off. Yeah.
So all those Bombay scenes and Extrapolation, by the way, Extrapolation is on Apple TV. It's an anthology. It was set in the very near future और उसमें बड़े-बड़े बहुत नामी गिरामी एक्टर्स हैं. एक एपिसोड में मेरिल स्ट्रीप है और एक एपिसोड में आदर्श गौरव. Okay, it's no joke. So please go and watch the thing on Apple TV. Subscription ले लो, पता नहीं है तुम्हारे पास. नहीं, किसी के पास नहीं Apple TV.
मेरे पास भी नहीं था. Only after I got the job. It's like अपना शो देखने.
Free में दे दो at least. Talk to me about getting Aliens. How long was that process? Audition कब हुआ? कहाँ हुआ?
Aliens.
There it is.
Represent. It's actually Alien Earth.
Alien Earth.
Yeah,
that is the
Alien Earth.
name.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alien Earth.
Alien Earth.
कहाँ हुआ audition? कब हुआ? And what was that process like? How many layers of auditions did you have to go through?
I was doing Adi Shakti, so I just come off Superboys of Malegaon, and like I feel after every project, I feel like this wave of uncertainty over like I don't know what I've done and I need to go back to basics and like basically do a workshop, and I put like 10 to 12 days aside to do a workshop. So
every time.
Almost every time I come out of a project, yeah, because I feel very spent and I feel like I don't know what I did. And I feel like I need to basically what I said. So I was looking for workshops all over the country, different places, and I've done Navrasa Sadhana in Kerala, which was amazing, life-changing for me. And Adi Shakti was something about Vinay and Nimmi that I've been hearing about. Of course, Veena Pani is not there anymore. But Nimmi and Vinay had been hearing about their methods for a very long time. And it was too expensive for me earlier and expensive for good reason, because they're spending a lot on their students, and you go and you live there, it's far away, so
It's worth the
it's
money.
completely worth the money. But I was like, kya karna hai? And I actually wanted to do a Meisner workshop, because out of the little that I know about all the different schools of thought, Meisner I find very fascinating because it builds on repetition. So I was looking for a Meisner workshop, and there was a Gary Condes workshop that I found in London, and another workshop that was recommended to me by Paul.
And these are all acting
These are all
methods.
No. Gary Condes is just an acting coach in London.
Okay.
And Paul Goodman was my the only professional play that I've ever done in Bombay was a play called Lucrece.
Okay.
That was directed by Paul.
Okay.
And Paul is British. He's from London. So I got in touch with him. He recommended a couple of workshops to me, but sadly they didn't work out. So then I was like, Adi Shakti, this is the right time for me to do it. I also have the money finally to do it.
Yeah.
And my last day of Adi Shakti, the Adi Shakti experience, we'll speak about it later, it was incredible again. The last day of Adi Shakti, my American agent got in touch with me saying, dude, there is an audition. And I said, bhai, मैं इतना ज़्यादा spent हो चुका हूँ ना, मैं 3 महीने शूट करके आया हूँ, 15 दिन वर्कशॉप कर लिया मैंने, अब मेरे से और कुछ नहीं होगा, अब मेरे को कुछ नहीं करना है लाइफ में, 1 महीने कुछ देने के लिए है ही नहीं. He was like, just read the sides and read the description of what project this
And
is.
read the name attached.
Yeah, read the name attached. So I was like,
It's-
okay,
yeah.
fine. And then I opened my email and I was like, what the hell?
Ridley
Scott. And so I remember on the last day of Adi Shakti, everybody was partying. Everybody who had gotten to know each other over the course of time. And I locked myself in my room. And people were like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Come out, party with us, you're chilling. I was like, yeah, I have the most important audition of my life tomorrow morning. So this is 8 p.m. मैं scenes के लिए तैयारी कर रहा हूँ. अगले दिन सुबह is the deadline. It's the last day I can send my audition tape.
Goodness gracious, huh?
So, and I don't even have that time to stay back at Adi Shakti and shoot it. So I have basically prepared the whole night, skipped the party, woke up in the morning, gone to Chennai from where my flight is 2 hours earlier, and convinced another person who was also traveling back to Bombay with me to co-act with me in the audition in a third person's house who was also an Adi Shakti participant.
Yeah.
So we have done the 2 scenes that we have done there, and I thought they were shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, but at least I've ticked it off कि मैंने कर तो दिया कैसे
Yeah.
ना कैसे. And then 10 days later, they got in touch with me and they were like, round 2. And I said, not bad, not bad.
Not bad.
And then round 2 was Adhika co-acting with me, my partner. And she's always been amazing. She's not an actor, but I've forced her to become an actor over the last 6 years. Yeah, but now actually she's also started enjoying it.
Yeah. I bet.
And Radhika co-acted with me in round
Yeah.
2, and then 10 days later, round 3 happened.
So
and
how many rounds are there?
3 rounds.
Okay, good.
3 rounds. 10 days later, round 3 happened, and then finally I got in front of Noah Hawley, who's the showrunner of the show.
Yeah.
And he spoke with me, and he said that he was a White Tiger fan, and he liked my audition, and he offered me the part.
Well done. Now you've shot this already. It's done, and the whole series is done. Yeah.
It was a 6-month shooting schedule in Bangkok.
Yeah.
So I was literally uprooted, and
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
bag and baggage. I was living in Bangkok for 6 months.
It could be worse.
No, it could be a lot worse. I shouldn't
Bangkok
be
is a great
complaining
city.
about it. No, it was great. It was
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
You are attracted to like sci-fi stuff, no?
No.
Have you done? No, you're not.
I had not seen a single alien film in my life before that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
I had only seen, I think it's Predator, because Arnold Schwarzenegger, I remember in the forest, like shooting some aliens. When I was a kid, I had seen Predator. I had never seen the original Alien made by Ridley Scott, never seen the David Fincher one, never seen the not Christopher Nolan.
No, not Nolan.
James, who's the guy who made Avatar? How did I forget? Cameron.
James Cameron.
What a moment we've
Jim
had.
Cameron.
So James Cameron made one in '84. David Fincher, one of his first films was Alien. So
Yeah.
I'd never seen any of these, but I knew that it was a big franchise, and I knew Ridley Scott, of course, as somebody who'd made a lot of iconic films.
Yeah.
But I was never a sci-fi fan. No. was never a sci-fi fan.
But because now both of your international projects are science fiction.
So strange.
Extrapolation is also, Extrapolation is like extremely near science fiction, and even Lela for that matter. It's a
Was
futuristic, dystopian,
yeah.
not, well, part of it is science fiction.
You know, but what, like now that I think, and this is like as we speak, I feel like science fiction gives you the space to be diverse with your casting.
Because you don't know what the world will look like in a few
years,
decades from now.
Yeah, so you're free to create your own world.
Yeah.
Right. So which is why I feel like it
You can
it
have
worked
people
out for me.
all sort of
all
ethnicities.
ethnicities.
Yeah, coming together.
Exactly.
But I think you've spoken about this before as well, that there have been chunks of time in your career, despite having worked for a couple of years, where you didn't have any work.
Now.
Achha, right now you have nothing, no project.
I have no project.
But are you in a place now where you're happy about not having any work? Or like, because before White Tiger, when you didn't have work and then White Tiger came along, that must have been a different sort of andhkar.
Yeah.
That is not there right now.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
That was very
between,
stressful.
Tell me, take me back to that
It's
time.
actually not very different, to be honest with you. I also find it very hard to not do anything. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Right? I feel like people should be comfortable in nothingness.
Yeah.
I am not that person.
Yeah.
So I get very worked up so I'm constantly trying to, even if I'm not working on something, I'll create work for myself. I'll start writing something, I'll start writing music, I'll start writing scripts, I'll do something. But before White Tiger, yes, it was also because I just moved out of my mother's house.
Bombay में ही?
Bombay में. I used to live with my mother, so my mother used to pay rent उसके पहले.
हाँ.
और पहली बार 2019 में I was 24. I moved out of my house and I was staying with Nikhil Vijay, who's my co-actor in Hostel Days. And we got a house on rent in चार बंगला, मनीष नगर. तो पहली बार मेरे को rent pay करना था. और the month I moved in was the month I stopped getting work. So I was like, यार ये क्या हो गया मेरे साथ?
और करो, मैं adventure.
लेकिन करना ही था because I was like, I've come of a certain age where I don't want to depend on my mom anymore.
Yeah.
For finances, and I want to be completely independent. I was anyway completely financially independent since I was 17 or 18.
Yeah.
But rent was being taken care by my mother. So that was a big struggle, the time before White Tiger to figure...
2019?
2019.
And you got cast for White Tiger?
2019 only, in June or July. So
you're saying
6
right
months.
before you got cast for White Tiger, you didn't have money to pay rent?
I had some savings in my account.
But rent was a concern.
But every month मेरे को, because I wasn't getting work, so and ads started drying up because the digital scene came in, budgets were being cut a lot, and as it is, it's a very competitive space, and then plus they're not paying you a lot of money. So I was really struggling, and I remember calling like older friends of mine who had worked with me as directors, as cinematographers, and asking them for any work. So I remember doing this one thing where I did the voiceovers for the string of 5 digital ads and got paid like 7 grand each for all of them. And then that was enough money for me to clear my rent.
So
anyway, so all this.
2019 में फिर आपके पास आती है White Tiger, and that blows up. That
Yeah.
film blows up. It's a huge film. It's a huge talking point. Everybody's talking about it. The book is also very famous, award-winning work. And then, but were you at that point कि you're like मैं सब दे दूँगा इस film को, कुछ नहीं है मेरे पास अब रोकने के लिए पीछे?
During White Tiger?
Yeah.
I had so much to say and so many years of like, not frustration, but so many years of like build up of like, this is the moment that I've been waiting for. So it was like life and death for me. I did everything I could. But I was also at the same time enjoying it because I'd never been given that kind of freedom as an actor के जाके झारखंड में रहो, अगर तुम्हें ये करना है तुम करो. और अगर दिल्ली में तुम बोल रहे हो कि तुम्हें शूट के 2 महीने पहले आना है, तो no questions asked. The director was like, whatever you want to do, I'm going to support you. So he paid for my hotel for those 2 months, क्योंकि ये हर एक्टर के नसीब में नहीं होता ऐसे करना. बहुत सारे एक्टर्स आई एम श्योर चाहते हैं वो बहुत कुछ करना, पर एक तो कास्ट ही होते हैं वो 1 महीने पहले. तो मैं कास्ट हुआ 4 महीने पहले उसके लिए. तो पहले 1-1.5 महीने में वहाँ झारखंड में चलकरी बस्ती में जाके रहा. उसके बाद मैं दिल्ली में आके मैंने 1-1.5 महीने स्पेंड किए, जिसमें से 2 हफ्ते मैंने वहाँ पे काम किया. और फिर मैं बस घूम रहा था सड़कों पे, लोगों को देख रहा था. कहीं पे भी मैं चले जाता ना मेट्रो में खड़े होके, मुझे पता भी नहीं होता था कि मैं कहाँ जा रहा हूँ. मैं कहीं एक रैंडम जगह पिक करता था, मैं मेट्रो में बैठता था और बस लोगों को आई यूज्ड टू पीपल वॉच and then get off at a random place and then go into a random gully and then just have chai and watch people.
When you're watching people, what are you looking at? You're looking at क्या किस तरह बातें करते हैं, क्या कपड़े पहनते हैं, दांत कितने साफ हैं, बाल कैसे कटे हुए हैं.
ये बोलना मुश्किल है कि मैं एग्जैक्टली क्या देखने के लिए, क्योंकि मुझे भी नहीं पता होता कि मैं क्या खोज रहा हूँ. वो जब होता है तो मैं वो रजिस्टर हो जाता है कि अच्छा और फलाना ये, क्योंकि क्या होता है कि जब आप आम जिंदगी में when you are just living your life you don't do all these things.
Correct. It would be creepy if you did.
नहीं creepy ही नहीं, पर आपके पास समय ही नहीं है.
Yeah.
आप कॉन्स्टेंटली ये सोच रहे हो कि मैं कहाँ से पैसे बना के अपना रेंट पे करूँ या जो भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज है वो पूरी करूँ, टू हैव दैट फ्रीडम के 1.5 महीना आपको जो करना है आप करो, है ना. तो वैसा टाइम था नहीं कभी मेरे पास, तो मैंने वही किया. मैं बस बैठता था और लोगों को देखता था, क्योंकि मैंने वो कभी किया ही नहीं जिंदगी में. मेरे को ऐसा लगा था मैं पहली बार लोगों को देख रहा हूँ. You know, of course, you meet people and all that, but to actually see people for who they are, you need to spend time looking at them, observing them, and I would a lot of times stalk people also. I would pick a random person who I thought was interesting at a chai wala and then walk behind them without them knowing.
That is creepy.
It's creepy, but to understand कि ये कहाँ रहता है, तो मैं उसके पीछे पीछे चले जाता था, और जब मुझे लगता था कि इस बंदे को शायद भनक लग गई है कि मैं इसका पीछा कर रहा हूँ, मैं रूट बदल लेता था, कहीं और किसी और को पकड़ता था.
But speaking of big people, you've had so many incredible co-stars in India also यार. इतने अमेजिंग मनोज बाजपेयी के साथ आपने काम किया, श्रीदेवी के साथ थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा स्क्रीन स्पेस नहीं शेयर
था,
करने वाला था, थोड़ा सा
2
screen
सीन
के
थे
साथ,
मेरे
2
पास.
सीन थे. एंड कैरी रसल इंडियन नहीं है, बट कैरी रसल के साथ भी एक पूरा एक्शन सीक्वेंस करने मिला आपको. जब आप करते हो ऐसे ऐसे एक्टर्स के साथ काम, हो और मास्टर्स ऑफ देयर गेम, हो लाइक स्टॉलवर्ड्स. कैरी रसल टॉकिंग इन हिंदी इट वाज लाइक सो फन टू वॉच. बट डू यू पिक थिंग्स अप फ्रॉम देम कि यार ये सीख लूँ मैं, या मेकिंग अ मेंटल नोट दैट इसको ऐसे करना है?
ऑनेस्टली ना, मैं जब ये जो भी पार्ट्स जब मैं कर रहा होता हूँ, मैं उस सीन के बियॉन्ड मैं कुछ सोच नहीं पाता हूँ, इवन इफ आई वांट टू. तो मैं वो सीन के ही बारे में सोच रहा होता हूँ, एंड आई विल ट्रीट माई सेल्फ लाइक द ह्यूमन बीइंग आई एम प्लेइंग एंड हर एज द पर्सन दैट शी इज प्लेइंग. Once it's cut, and if like I allow myself, if I allow my mind to float here and there, then maybe yes, but that usually doesn't happen with me.
You know, now that I've met you a couple of times and we've spoken, we've been exchanging texts. Like you're a very nice guy. You're very Pookie coded. You know, you're sweet.
What's Pookie coded?
Pookie coded is like, you know, you're a Pookie. Like you're sweet and you're cute and like I want to pull your cheeks. So that's Pookie coded.
Acha.
But you go into some very dark places when you're doing some of these characters. Yeah, when you're doing White Tiger, when you're doing even Extrapolation and some of the other things. Mom also, like, is a horrible guy.
Yeah.
For instance, speaking of Mom, there's a very difficult scene in that film where you are sitting again driving that's the getaway car after the party scene, and what's the actor?
Sajal Ali.
She's Sajal Ali is in the back seat and she's being, you know, held down, and then you yell ki, you know, go call your mother, now bula apni maa ko. It's a very difficult scene. Like, so how do you get into that space where you're not that person at all? It's just how do you get there?
I guess I just completely buy into the reality of the situation and don't judge the people I play. I'm not thinking at that point in time that this is something horrible that I'm doing.
For you, it's that character and that
It's very
character
matter
thinks
of fact for me. I'm just like, okay, this is what this person is doing, so this is what I should do. This is how I would say it, because this is what a person would say, or how he would say it in this situation. So I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm not trying to do any of that.
Yeah.
However, having said that, I feel like Mom, if I would do that today, I would probably be much more affected than what I was as a 20-year-old.
You were 20 when
I was 20 when I did Mom. I was 20, 21. Of course, I still understood what I was doing, but I feel like as a 30-year-old man, it's very different to be doing all that. You see a lot more in the world. You lose a lot, you win a lot. And anyway, so I feel like that would affect me in a very different way. And also, I feel like this is what Irfan and Joaquin Phoenix, I've seen a lot of their performances, that I see this common thread that they do. They have a lot of lightness, even in the dark energy that they inhibit. They make you question the moral code of a person that they're playing. I don't like myself in Mom because I don't give people that chance to question my moral code. It's very black and white.
He's just a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. The writing was great in Mom. I feel Girish Kohli wrote all the actors very phenomenally. They were very, everybody had like a backstory and all of that, but I feel like in the playing of it, I would play Mohit Chadha very differently if I would play him as a 30-year-old. I feel like the job of an actor when they play even characters that are morally corrupt or do something horrible is not just to be able for people to hate those people, but to actually question those people. I feel like I didn't do that, and I would probably do that if I was playing it now.
Do you remember meeting Sridevi on the set? Did you
Yeah.
get to talk to her at all? Do you remember that?
I just remember going up to her and telling her that, hi Sri ma'am, my name is Adarsh and I'm a fan, and my father is an even bigger fan, which he is. If there's one actor / actress my father has spoken about consistently since I was a kid, and my dad hasn't watched a lot of films,
Right.
it's Sridevi.
Yeah.
He was obsessed with Sridevi since I was young. So I think it was a much bigger moment for him than me, because also I feel like because I'm a 90s kid, I started watching films very late in my life. Mid 2000s I started watching films. उसके पहले मैं सिर्फ WWF और कार्टून देखता था, वो भी दिन में शायद आधा एक घंटा, और खेलता था मैं बाहर. So for me to understand who Sridevi was as an actor, it took me lots of growing up and then revisiting her older films, you know. But for my dad, he's from her generation. So I told her that you know, and I told her that I speak Telugu, and she had a big smile on her face, and she's like, oh, okay. And yeah, she was very reserved. She spoke less.
Yeah.
And I remember doing that one shot where, and it was my first day on set. I cross paths with her character, and I just say, good morning, ma'am. And it's a very dark scene, right? Because I've just done what I have, and then I get bail and I come out.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of being like, you know, I'm invincible in this school. So I'm just walking past her and I say, good morning, ma'am. And then I cross paths. And I remember Ravi Udyawar came running to me after the shot and he was like, Chode! And he says, Chode, kya shot hai? Sri ma'am ne mere ko aake bola ki, who's this guy? Chode, Kamal, brilliant. And I was like, oh my God, like, you know, that's incredible.
What a memory to have.
Yeah.
But you play Ameer Ghar Ka Bigda Hua Ladka with as much ease as you play the getaway driver, or as you play the truck driver, or as you play Ameer Ghar Ka driver who's going to destroy their lives very soon. They don't even know. But so what I'm going to do is, let's do a little bit of a rapid fire, okay? I am going to name your movies, and within 10 seconds, tell me one weird thing you did to prepare for that character. Okay? One weird thing that you did to, well, not weird, extra. One extra thing you did to prepare. So I'm just, not all your characters, but I'm going to quickly name some films. Okay, ready? Okay, let's go. White Tiger.
I worked at a stall cleaning plates and brooming the floor.
What city?
New Delhi. Outside Saket Court, found a guy, asked him to give me some employment. He asked me, he was the only guy who didn't ask me for my ID. So I told him my name was Balram. I'd cooked up a backstory. और उसने दिहाड़ी पे मेरे को रख लिया, 100 रुपए देता था मेरे को, और
कितने दिन गया?
2 हफ्ते, झाड़ू मारा, प्लेट साफ की.
Guns and Gulabs.
Tej Pratap Yadav was my biggest inspiration for Guns and Gulabs.
Politician.
Yes, Lalu Prasad Yadav's elder son. I feel like he's a very interesting character, and he has these vlogs that he makes on YouTube. And there's this one particular vlog where he had invited an ice cream seller to his house, and he was having a very in-depth conversation about what his favorite ice cream is. And then he goes out and he meets people who are at his gate who've come to meet him, and then he goes and sits in his garden and he's having ice cream in the garden.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was, and I had seen this video many years ago by chance on YouTube, and when I got the job, the first person who came to my mind was Tej Pratap Yadav.
So his YouTube videos became
So
inspiration.
I went into this rabbit hole of watching all Tej Pratap Yadav videos on YouTube, his channel. Like, I feel like I was, in terms of time consumed in those 3 weeks, I must have been the biggest time consumer on his YouTube channel.
Love it.
And yeah, but also I feel like one more thing that I did was, just so that you can have this as well, is that I thought that Jugnu would carry his weight would be here. Like, this is where a bulk of his weight would be. So I had this sway in my walk.
Yeah.
And I pitched my voice slightly more. And because we didn't have the time to do workshops, my house became my workshop. So Radhika used to be terrified, because for that 1 month, I was Jugnu at home. And she was just like, I cannot deal with this. Can you please come back? And I'd be like, no, I can't. Like, so for that time
You
period.
sound like a menace to live with, by the way. You sound like a menace. My worst nightmare. I don't know. Because Deepika said this about Ranveer Singh also. She said, I don't know who I'm going to wake up with the next morning. Like, who is this person today?
But you know, the thing is that as an actor, where else would you do this?
Yeah.
If you don't have a workshop, which is a space for at least 3-4 hours you can do, the only other place and only other safe space that you can do this at, because I can't do this outside ना, मैं बाहर जाके अपने दोस्तों के साथ करूँगा तो वो तो और भी होंगे कि भाई क्या हो गया तेरे को, please be normal and then meet us.
She will be indulgent and be like,
at least ये माफ तो कर देगी
कर
मुझे.
लिया commitment तो मैं क्या करूँ?
क्या फंस चुकी है ये.
Okay, next. Superboys of Malegaon. One extra thing you did.
I went and shot my own film over there. and basically went to Nasik, went to Malegaon and convinced Nasir to direct a short film after many years, which he did, funded it, shot my own BTS of it.
You're insane. Kho Gaye Hum Kahan.
When I was cast for Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, I was nothing like the person I played. So physically, I'm playing a gym trainer in it. You know, you don't look at me and the first thing that comes to your mind is not gym, bro. Yeah, you're like, kya body hai boss. That's not the first thing you would say. So I got the part. I was like, really? You want? I mean, it was great, right? Like it was Zoya Akhtar and Tiger Baby, and also Arjun, who I love.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, that's incredible. Like, how do you imagine myself to be this person, to play Neil Pereira? And then he gave me a few months, and then the film got pushed even more. So for 1.5 years, there was no cheat meals. Literally, when I say no cheat meals, there was not even like one cheat meals, not one drop of alcohol. 1.5 years was just that.
Sounds terrible.
It was brutal. It was gruesome.
Horrifying.
And I know it might not be a big deal for people who've been doing it for many years, but for all those people who've been doing it for many years, think back to the time when you started doing it
and how hard it was to begin.
It was, yeah.
And Aliens, one extra thing.
I used to go to a park next to my house in Oshiwara, and I would sit there and watch kids play.
Coming back to creepy vibes again.
Coming back to creepy vibes is because I don't know how to say this without it being a spoiler for the show.
Okay,
but there's an element, you'll understand why I'm saying this eventually when the show comes out. But also I watched a ton of Hi Ho Kids.
What kids?
Hi Ho Kids is basically this YouTube channel where American kids primarily interact with people of different professions. And they have a conversation with them for 10 minutes. So for example, a firefighter, somebody who's fighting battling cancer, somebody who is an influencer, people of different professions, and they ask them very innocent questions. So I was for 2 months again in Bangkok when I was filming for the first 2 months. I just kept watching one Hi Ho video after.
YouTube is a big part of your preparation journey, it seems.
I feel like YouTube is a goldmine that people don't explore much when they prep.
My whole career rests on YouTube, so thank you very much. Okay, great. Now let's come to film criticism. What is your relationship with that? Because now if you're going to be doing more work internationally, there it's a much bigger deal, reviews, because reviews come out early, they influence awards, they influence the way, and it's a more structured industry, not like what we have here right now, and we are going through our own turmoil. But what is your relationship with film criticism?
I really like reading good film reviews.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes people who are watching those films and reviewing them are telling me a lot more than I had to say about the film myself.
More than even you were giving to the character.
Yeah, not just me giving to the character, but also how I looked at the film. I was like, wow, like this is amazing on how it's being seen and how else it's being perceived.
Do you remember any review in particular that stands out?
No, you're putting me in the spot.
No spot putting.
I feel like any good review when I read, I always have that feeling of, wow, I have been with this film for the last 1 year and I literally didn't see that.
Yeah.
There's so many times that it's happened over the course of the years.
Tell me your favorite film in these categories, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now because we've already discussed sci-fi and you're doing sci-fi and you've done sci-fi before, what's one sci-fi film that you like?
I feel like Man from Earth is very interesting for me because of the challenges of mounting a sci-fi film like that. Because it's entirely conversational, set in one room.
Yeah.
Majorly one man talking about his journey.
And it's about that guy who turns out to be
Jesus. And also Buddha and a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
But it's incredible because it's sci-fi without any element of sci-fi.
Yeah. It's a fascinating
There is no CGI, there is no VFX, there's no tech. It's just a conversation, and through the conversation it becomes sci-fi.
Yeah. Great recommendation. Favorite film that has social commentary in it? Social commentary drama.
I feel like Hazaron Khwaishein Aisi again is something that I rewatched last year.
Vintage Sudhir Mishra.
Yeah. I loved Hazaron Khwaishein Aisi. I loved Shiny Ahuja in it. I loved everybody in it. Chitrangada was amazing. And also I feel like that period of Delhi, the 70s and 80s in Delhi that it's set in, I haven't seen Delhi being shown like that ever.
Okay, great. Favorite underdog story?
Favorite underdog story?
That is a lot of the characters that you play are underdogs and then they're like, haha.
Sarfarosh is one of my favorite films of all time.
Okay.
And the first 30 minutes is about an underdog. It's about
Okay.
a man who has nothing to do with being an IPS, who's basically running a sari shop with his family. And then how, you know, the death of his brother and the injury of his father forces him to get into
Okay,
it. It's
Sarfarosh.
incredible.
Favorite gangster film?
I mean, it's only because Martin Scorsese is the best gangster director ever.
Ever.
This has to be a note to him, and
Yes.
Goodfellas is my...
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Nothing compares. Every gangster film that has come since has tried to be Goodfellas, in my opinion.
And specifically Joe Pesci
Yes.
in Goodfellas.
So great.
I'm obsessed with him.
And one surprise question, your favorite love story, like a rom-com that you've liked, because you're so Pookie coded. New thing I've taught him today.
Favorite love story? There's lots actually. But I love...
And don't say Makbul.
No, I love 10 Things I Hate About You.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it, and I love Heath Ledger. in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to watch things that...
I also love Notting Hill.
I love Notting Hill. You know, my husband was like one of those people who's like, I don't want to watch these like random films. I was like, तू Notting Hill देख बैठ के मेरे साथ. Because he's like, क्या मैं rom-com नहीं देखूंगा? And he's like a huge Notting Hill fan now.
Hugh Grant is so tender in it, no? He's like so beautiful.
It's a perfect film. It ruined my life because I thought that that's what life is going
Will
to turn
happen.
out.
You'll
That's
work at a
how
bookstore and you'll
easy.
meet your Julia equivalent of...
That's how easy it'll be to have friendships and relationships in the future.
Oh my god, I love all the characters in it. His family,
Hilarious. All the friends.
his flatmates,
Yeah.
that Spike dude who
Yeah.
comes out wearing the scuba glasses.
It's a nearly perfect film. Congrats on Superboys of Malegaon. Congrats on the spectacular, you know, response it received at Toronto. Some very good reviews also came out for the film in some major publications. So that's really
believe so.
great.
Yeah. Deadline wrote a very nice article about us
Yeah.
after the BFI screening.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And I think Variety also had a review that came
Yes,
out
yes.
right after Toronto.
Yeah.
So congratulations, and I hope people get to watch that
And
film
you
soon.
also wrote, you also spoke and wrote
मेरे को
about
तो कोई
us
भाव
after
देता ही
Toronto
नहीं है
Film
मैं क्या
Festival.
करूँ कितना मतलब I had to chase to get interviews with you guys in Toronto. It was very hard.
Really?
Yeah, it was very hard.
But I didn't know about the
I know.
chase and all.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But my review also came out.
But I'm so happy that this has happened now. Finally, where at least Fursat mein baith ke we've had a conversation beyond.
Thanks to my jet lag now and your jet lag in Toronto. We both had time to
Yeah.
chat with each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Congratulations. You are
Thanks.
amazing. You're so talented and I can't wait to see where you're going to go
Thanks,
next.
Charita. Thanks for doing this.
I hope you become a massive movie star and then we're like friends later on because it's like she saw my talent when I was in Warsaw. So when you're living in Beverly Hills at some point,
I don't think I'm going to live in Beverly Hills ever.
okay, I will live in Beverly Hills. You can come and hang out.
Cool.
Thanks, Adarsh.
Thank you.